do it. Okay. So if you had to choose to go to college or not, would you go to college again or not? What would you choose?
Wait, go again? Like you went
so
and
if
now
you had
we're
to
going
choose
back?
to go to college or not. Okay, so this was written wrong. But basically what it's trying to say is if you had the opportunity to go to college again, would you choose to go to college again or would you not? Do you feel like it was
I already
worth
went
it?
back.
I
went back to college already.
But do you feel like it was worth it?
It will be, absolutely.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my Bachelor of Arts in Hospitality Management and Development, and then I started working in the hotel industry, and then something in my path changed, my interests changed. God said, you know what, it's time to do this. So now I'm at Mount St. Mary's University, and I am studying to be a registered nurse. So then after that, I'm gonna go back to school and get my master's and see, where that takes me. So absolutely, if you wanna go back to school, yes, go back. It's never too late. There's an 86-year-old woman who just got her bachelor's. So it's like, it's never too late. Yes, finances are huge, but there's scholarships out there. Guys, I can't tell you enough. I can't stress it enough how much free money is out there. You just have to go out and search for it. My mission was I wanted to do 6 applications for scholarships a day, and I got hella money doing that. So yes, go back. It's definitely possible. Oh, but I have kids or I have work. Do it. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do it and you can succeed.
Yeah, totally agree. I had to go to a commuter school, work full time.
What school you go to?
I went to CSUN.
Okay.
Go Matadors! So it was totally worth it, and I'd have to say that throughout the years I've gone back to school again, and it's helped me to reinvent myself and get me into other industries and just kind of like move onward. And even when I got knocked down, during the recession and had to start all over again, no one can take away that education, and that education is going to help you to actually re-innovate, rebrand, remarket yourself. So.
And don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged about how long it's taking, because your transcript is your transcript, So just keep pushing.
From a little different perspective of, not that I don't agree with you guys, because I do, but the reason I appreciate education so much is just because coming from Oakland, I kind of feel like school saved me a little bit. I kind of feel like I could have been was in different avenues doing God knows what. And I kind of feel like there was a time where I remember when I first started going to San Diego State, and I remember first sitting in the classroom and for the first time ever being in a classroom that wasn't majority black, and those feelings that I felt and just feeling so weird and just feeling like it just really wasn't for me. But college just really changed my life and brought opportunities to me that I would never have if I would have stayed in my natural environment where I was, born and raised. So, there's really no way of explaining it to somebody out there being able to kind of see the validity of it, or see the fruit of, the labor. Because I talk to youngsters all the time, still in the middle of the hood, and they're like, what should I go to school for? What that's going to do for me in terms of, surviving, in the environment that they're currently in. But, I always try to explain to them, everybody wants to be able to put a key in a door, knowing that that's your door, knowing that that's your place that you're going into, your peace of mind, being able to know that you can wake up. I say this and it sounds simple, but this is just the realest shit ever to me. Knowing that I can wake up every day and choose what the fuck I want to eat. Excuse my language. Knowing that if I want to wake up today and I want to eat carne asada tacos, if I want to tomorrow go eat Panda Express, if I want the day after that go eat sushi, that's a privilege, you know what I'm saying? And that's not given to you. That comes from going to school and being able to get a career. That comes from getting a trade and being able to, gain money in that area, or whatever it is, whatever your hustle in life is. You have to have some type of education, some type of training, some type of something that's gonna be able to get you to that point to, like I said, so you could have that peace of mind and change the channel. And if you wanna watch BET tonight, MTV tomorrow night, or whatever the next night, you can do that because it's your choice and you've afforded yourself through the lifestyle that you done, you know what I mean?
Grinding for successful financial wise, it's huge.
A college degree doesn't necessarily ensure that you will be in a certain tax bracket, and I think it's interesting to point out where he ended, that to seek out any type of education is good for self. Absolutely. Because similarly, I'm from the same place. And the last time I went to Oakland, me and my friend realized when we were leaving that being from the hood that we were from, we didn't realize it was the hood until we went and experienced other types of hoods, until we went and experienced suburbias, until Oakland is just like Chicago, like New York, is one of the first places that as Black people, we settled post-slavery. So it also, like Chicago, like New York, had some of the most intelligent of our populace mixed with some of the most, uneducated, coming straight from and thrown into the same places, right? So you could be in the worst of circumstances and walk past the lake or walk past the Starbucks and hear some of the most conscious conversation that brings out something within you. And again, it comes back to perception and exposure and just being able to test yourself in a new environment to know what is true versus knowing what you were taught. Because going to formal education in this country means being taught a way of thinking. Hopefully you get taught how to critically think unanimously so you can go out afterwards and seek other knowledge and seek other information and be able to synthesize it through the proper channels. Or you go through a system that conditions you to go out, get a job, complete the system cycle to support a bigger system of capitalism and government.
But see,
right?
that's
actual openness to critical thinking, to
that's one of the
thinking
things though about going to college and about leaving Oakland though that you get privileged with is, like you said, knowing that it's different. Like you said, you had the opportunity of leaving, and like me, had the opportunity of going to college. Until you get to that point though, and the longer you stuck in that environment, you don't know that there's other opportunities. I know a lot of people who work with the same population I work with, and they're saying, oh, this youngster should do this, youngster should do that, or this person should do this, do that. But they don't understand until you've seen it, until everything's a learned behavior. So until you've actually seen somebody go to college and actually get a better lifestyle, then it's at that point that you realize, oh shit, this is like low-key a little hustle that I can do as well. This is a route that I can go as well to better my life. But until you've been afforded the privilege of being able to see that.
When I answer the question, I'd go back. I never answered. I would go back and I would actually be a college student. Because I think a lot of us got tripped off of the freedom and growing up into being an adult and taking care of our own so much that I miss going abroad. I miss just, being a silly college student because I was just trying to rush to stuff too much. You know what I mean? And people tell you that, but you don't really get it till you're out of it. But I also could have, just traveled the world and probably come out similarly to how I am just because of the mind and how I look at the world and how I like to experience new places and new things. Yes. And I think whatever experience affords you that, whether it's college, whether it's going to the army, whether it's going to take a job overseas, or whatever that can open you. But I think the whole point is just the whole point of education and opening up is to eliminate the limits within your mind.
I'm on some real Malcolm X. I feel like education is a passport to the future. I'm not even gonna lie to you. For real. I'm not negating your point, but like for me, I come from an international family. So for me, if I travel the world, it's still a certain level of ignorance I would have carried with me coming from the environment that I came from. Like it's a certain level of sitting in a classroom and having to be around a culture that I did not want to be around. That made me mature in a way that I would not have matured. Yeah. And that's the fact. Just for me personally.
I don't think that we're countering each other. I think we're saying the same things in different words. But for instance, I'm not saying merely traveling to different places opens up your mind and teaches you things. I think an openness to things that are different, just like you're saying, whether it's a classroom or a new town or a new country, and being open to things that are different than what you've been taught to believe, think, or value, are invaluable to building who you are as a person. To the similar token, it's just taking who you think you are and testing it in new waters.
Yeah, I think you have to go with whatever is available to you and expand and grow from that point because I don't know, my family background, mid-city, but my grandpa was a reverend in South Central, and then my mom remarried, and then next thing you know, I'm in Agora Hills. So I saw a huge cultural difference and a huge educational difference between schools in South Central, schools in the Beverly Hills area, and schools in the suburb, Calabasas, Agora Hills. And I definitely have to say that traveling was something that was not available to me earlier in my childhood, but became, once I moved into the suburb, it became accessible to me. So however you have to get your education, get it with all you're getting, because definitely those doors are gonna open up when that seal of approval is on your resume. And unfortunately, there's kind of a way to get around that gate, but a lot of the times they want to see that you have that college degree. So it's definitely something that you should put as a goal, but if it's not something that you can attain,
Back
get
it
your
up in another way.
There you go.
Yep.
Learn
Yep.
your skill, learn your craft. Because I mean, look at this table. Like we've all gone through, and you got to value your own journey, or as you were saying earlier, your own time. Sometimes, however it is, because it's like we all have very different walks to get here. But look how we can talk about the same subjects so differently and still respect each other's differences because we learned how through our different walks.
And it's not that we're saying that if you don't go to college, you won't be successful.
Or
We're
if
not
you
saying
do, that you will.
If you do, hey,
Exactly.
let's be real. If you do have a college degree, you're gonna be a millionaire. No, it doesn't work like that.
Gotta grind.
But the benefit of having one, it does afford you a lot more opportunities than one who doesn't. It does.
True, bro.
Let's just say for me, in my personal instance, yes, I can be a nurse with some certificate, diploma, but you have to have some sort of formal education to do that. Now, there may be something in your life that you want to do that requires you to have some sort of formal education. I mean, I can't be a nurse if I don't have it. It just won't happen.
And even if it's not a 4-year university, even if you're going into like a training school
Right.
or a JC,
Absolutely.
even if you're going into
Absolutely.
whatever it might be, but you have to have some. I just believe in specialization. Whatever
don't-
your trade is,
don't
be
rest
specialized in that,
Learn
bro.
your trade.
You want to be a rapper?
Cultivate
Go
your
learn how to
skill.
mix the boards. Go learn about music. Go learn about the ins and
Absolutely.
outs.
But
Be a
also-
be specialized.
Absolutely.
To the same token, like you went and got one degree and then realized you wanted to get another
Absolutely.
degree. Wouldn't you also say that your drive and your ambition has a lot to do with it? Because there are stupid people who come out with degrees who
Yes.
just rest on it. Well, I have my degree
Yes.
and think it's just going to afford them things and don't want to put in the work,
Yeah.
the work that it took to take the degree, let alone the work that it takes to make a life for yourself, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, you gotta go out there and work for it. No one's gonna just
Gotta
hand
work.
it to you. You gotta go out there and get it. Yes, I spent sleepless nights and long days and years figuring out what I wanted to do and constant studying, you know. And then yes, I graduated with this degree, but now I'm going back to get another one because now my skills changed, my passion changed, my interest changed. So you know, it is what it is.
I think I'm gonna let you
Let's get into the
question.
next one. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And if you guys
Oh,
ever need
my
a nurse, I'm your man.